Something biting me, Gizmo. We definitely got to get your flea medicine. Excuse me. I knew you had knocked down my Raisinets, Gizmo. You about to have me throw my Raisinets in the garbage. Oh, why y'all can't never see me? It always look like I don't have a shirt on. Okay, this is getting on my nerves. That's better. What's the matter, Pootie? Okay. We here. We gonna get started because I don't have a plan to be on here that long. Okay, so it's California and the pollen is coming back. The wind is blowing. Once it stopped raining, everything starts to blooming and it's allergy season. So if I'm sniffling and snorting and can all, it's because I have allergies because they here. The wind is blowing today. Yesterday it was so nice. It was so still. I mean, it was just a perfect day. Today it's windy. It's not super cloudy, but it is a little cloudier than it was yesterday. Like yesterday, it wasn't cloudy at all. Today it is. This earring feels like it's not on my ear right. I guess it is though. So if I'm sniffling, I have allergies. Okay, deal with it. So YouTube, today is just gonna be a YouTube news. If these kind of videos bother you, don't watch them. Okay. But I was checking out Adrian yesterday. Was it yesterday she came on and said she had a health scare? I think it was yesterday, where she was talking about she was pre-diabetic and her cholesterol was high. Oh, and she had rheumatoid arthritis. And I was like, girl, your diet. Okay, my hair is flat on one side. The twisties are back for a couple of days. And then, of course, I'm going to take them down and wear my afro. So she told everybody that she had tested positive for rheumatoid arthritis. And I'm like, you went through all of the tests and stuff? Like the real tests for rheumatoid arthritis? Or is she lying? Because to be honest, I really don't trust a lot of what happened to the remote is my I don't trust a lot of what Adrian says. But I can believe her cholesterol is high. And I can believe that she's pre-diabetic because of her diet. Every single solitary meal of Adrian's is fast food. Every meal. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner, it is fast food. It is Wendy's. It don't seem like she like Taco Bell, but it's Wendy's. It's McDonald's. Well, she had Taco Bell breakfast the other day. So it's basically all of the fast food places: Wendy's, McDonald's, Taco Bell, Churches, Popeyes, Jack in the Box. All of the fast food places is Adrian's food. That's all she eats. I've never seen her like, oh, I'm gonna take a break from fast food. I'm gonna go to the grocery store and get a salad, or I'm gonna go to the grocery store and, get a sandwich, or, something. Like, girl, you could go in Lucky's, you can go in Safeway, or whatever the grocery store is in Florida, and get something healthy. Because I don't care if you're throwing away the bread at these fast, off of the burger and stuff. And, because her whole thing is, I don't eat a lot of the food. But if you're eating it every day, even if you're stretching it out over the course of the day, you're still eating fast food. You're still eating junk every day. Of course, your blood pressure is going to be high because everything you eat is full of sodium. The sodium content in the food that she eats is so high. That shit will make anybody sick if you eat it every day. Every day. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Unless someone decides to give her a plate. And then, she'll have a regular meal. But if they don't, I'm trying to see what that was. If they don't, she won't. She's eating, junk food. She's eating fast food every day. And drinking juice and sodas and all of that kind of stuff all day, constantly, takes a toll on a 50-year-old body. Adrian has to realize that she's not 20 anymore. So she's not ripping and running and, running that stuff off like she used to be able to do when she was 20. And yeah, I do eat fast food, but I do not eat it every day. I do not eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If I have it, it's probably going to be for like lunch or whatever, and then I'll eat some real food. I don't know what her living situation is like. I don't, it looks like she lives somewhere where she can cook, but maybe she doesn't trust if it's other people living there. I don't know what her living situation is like. But even when you're in a bad living situation, you should be trying to figure out how to incorporate more healthy things into your diet, especially when your doctor is telling you, because she already had high blood pressure. She already knew her blood pressure was high, especially when you have high blood pressure, because normally when you have high blood pressure, diabetes is lurking. I'm not saying everybody that has high blood pressure has diabetes, but I'm saying when you have high blood pressure, diabetes is, it's looking at you hard. It's trying to get you, because it tried to get me. I had a scare this week also. I had a blood test done Friday, and the results came back, and to me it looked like my A1C was higher than it normally is. And I got really scared, like super scared. But I knew I had an appointment, a phone appointment with my doctor yesterday. So I was like, okay, I'm going to talk to him. But I had already made it up in my mind that I was like, oh, diabetes got me. It got me. It got me, girl. It got me. And so when my doctor called me, he was like, hey, what's going on, Miss Brown? I said, go on and give me the bad news. Go on and tell me. Let's just get this out the way first before I tell you something else. Go on and tell me. And he was like, tell you what? I was like, go on and tell me I got the diabetes. It was like, who told you that? I was like, I saw the blood test and my A1C was 6. He was like, your A1C has been 6. I was like, huh? He was like, your A1C been 6 for 2 years. You don't have diabetes? I was like, I don't. He was like, no. I was like, I thought I had it. All weekend. All weekend, I was like on the verge of tears. I had called my best friend. I was like, girl, I got it. I got it, girl. He got me. Me and her trying to come up with a plan. She like, stop drinking sodas, just exercise, lose some weight. You gonna get your numbers down. You probably don't have it. I was like, no, I got it. I just knew I had it. I told my doctor, I was like, do you know how stressed out I've been all weekend thinking that I had it? He was like, no one told you you had it. You stressed yourself out. So I don't have it. I'm close though. I'm probably like Adrian. I'm close. I'm right there. Like it is knocking on the door. But I'm telling you this, I'm going to fight that heifer with everything I have. I'm not gonna say I'm giving up completely Sprites, but I'm going to cut back until I can give up completely. Because the funny thing is, Sprite is really about the only Sprite and Baja Blast. Mountain Dew Baja Blast when I go to Taco Bell. Them the only two sodas that I really love. So I got a couple of Sprites left. I'm going to drink those. And once I drink those, that's it. And I'm not bringing no more in this house. I'm going to drink my bubblies. I'm going to try to get into some of the other flavors. And my best friend, she told me about this other brand that sparkling water because she does have type 2 diabetes. And she's not a soda drinker. So she told me about this other brand of water that she drinks. And so I'm really going to, be giving up this soda crave. My hemoglobin was good. Everything was good except for my A1C. My A1C is not horrible, but he wants it under 6. And the good thing is it's not like 6.5, 6.6. It's not 6 point nothing. It's just 6 right now. And so he wants me to get it really under 6, but under 5.7 is your goal. So I don't have that far to go. And I know I can do this because I don't do fast food every day. I enjoy cooking sometimes. I like salads. I love greens. I like not collard greens, but salad greens and stuff. I enjoy making a nice salad with chicken or, tuna or whatever, or shrimps or, whatever you want to put in your salad. I enjoy salad, so that's no problem. Getting my greens in is no problem for me. And I do enjoy certain vegetables. So that's not a problem for me. Hey KK, I ain't seen you in a minute, girl. Tina, we fighting Miss Diabetes. Hey Naya. So I don't think that it will be a huge battle for me. So I have to start exercising 30 minutes a day. That's a must. Like, he's like, no, this is one part of the thing that you can't play with. Like, you have to exercise because you have to burn off some of that, you know. If you don't exercise, your sugar turns to fat automatically. You're not burning it off. You have, something about your insulin, child. The doctor explained it to me. And, trying to tell me why it's so important to exercise at least 30 minutes a day. And I have literally no excuse to to exercise because we have a treadmill, a stationary bike, all of the yoga equipment, weights, bench, Pilates ring, all of that stuff. We have everything. We have everything. The only thing we don't have is, all of the weights and stuff set up in the garage because the garage is like our storage place. So the weights are not like set up in the garage, but we can set them up in the backyard and, do what we have to do and bring it back in the house. So I have no excuse. And I'm really wishing Adrian nothing but the best. This is not to bash Adrian. I'm wishing her the best. I really hope that she can get into a stable living environment where she is not eating eating fast food every day, because fast food is a killer. I don't care what nobody say. Fast food is full of sodium, it's full of preservatives, it's full of, it's just not good food. And she don't eat at places that, seem to serve stuff that's, you because she's eating out 3 meals a day. I do understand she's probably trying to save her money. You know what I mean? But girl, if you don't do something, that diabetes is not going to do anything but creep up on you and catch you and wring your neck. And so will arthritis. All of the stuff that she eats, all of that grease and salt and sugar, is not even good for people who have rheumatoid arthritis. Sugar is a trigger for people. A lot of people don't understand that sugar triggers pain crisis. If you have too much sugar, too much sodium, going to Chinese places, and they put all that sodium and MSG in their food. This is one of the reasons why I do not mess with Chinese food that often, because every time I eat Chinese food, it triggers a pain crisis for me. So for people that don't know, I have sickle cell trait and I have psoriatic arthritis. I don't have rheumatoid arthritis. And this is really weird because everybody else in my family, my grandmother, my mother, my aunts, I think I have one uncle, they all have rheumatoid arthritis. I am the only one in my family that has psoriatic arthritis. But I've had psoriasis ever since I was a little kid. It was, at one point, it was really bad, like on my scalp and stuff. And my mom was taking me to a dermatologist, and he was treating it. Now, I remember from a child having a lot of pain in my hands and in my legs. But when my mom would take me to the doctor kind of, brushed it off and was like, oh, she's probably just having growing pains. She's probably growing. It's normal for kids to have pains in their legs and stuff. And, at the time, I was like really active. I was playing a lot of tetherball. I was playing a lot of volleyball. I was like a real active kid. So I was saying, well, maybe that's why, my hands and stuff are hurting. Okay, come to find out, I didn't had this mess all my life. I've had arthritis probably forever, but I didn't test positive. Like I had very high inflammation markers, but I never tested positive. Like my ANA never came back positive until I was in my 40s. And then I tested positive. They tested me for everything: lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, every arthritis it was. And it came back that I had psoriatic arthritis and Sjogren's syndrome. So for you idiots that's always talking about my teeth, I have a documented medical condition that causes weakness in my teeth, and they break off, and so when they break, you pull them. But y'all don't care about that. Y'all just like to talk shit about people. You don't care what the underlying problem is. You just see something about a person and like to go in on that. So I'm really hoping for the best for Adrian. Because, we all in that 50 club together. Once you get 55, your check engine light, come on. I'm going to tell you now, these is just Adrian getting them little small lights that come on. You be like, what is that? Oh, my oil is low. Oh, my air pressure is low. 55, that check engine light going to come on. I'm telling you, because that's what it did with me. It seemed like when I turned 55, my body was like, you know what? This is what I'm going to need you to do. Sit your ass down. Don't do nothing else. Sit there and crochet and watch TV. I don't need to be out here exerting a whole bunch of energy. That's 55. That check engine light is definitely going to come on. That's when you going to start, your body is going. So she 50. And her body is already telling her, hey, you need to look at this. You need to do this. You need to do that. And I don't think Adrian has the intelligence to really take care of herself, which is sad because she don't have nobody to help her and she can't do it. So that's it for Miss Adrian. Now Miss Q, Miss Eat with Q, has come back to the States. I'm like, okay, girl. Okay, miss, I'm married. I'm happy. My husband is the best husband in the world. He the sweetest husband. Oh my God, I love him so much. He loved me. His family loved me. Yeah, they do, girl. They love me. They love me more than they love him. They love me so much. Everybody loved me. His sisters love me. My nephew. Everybody, they all love me. Did you ask me where he was? He's still in Africa. He didn't come. She came by herself. She here alone. He didn't come. I had a feeling this was gonna happen. I really did. I had a feeling this was gonna happen. Because a lot of y'all don't know that it's a process to get into America. You're not just going to walk your ass over here. We married. I don't care. The United States don't play that. So something in his background or something happened to keep him from coming to America. Now, she's not going to tell us. Of course, she won't tell us. She's not going to tell us what happened. But something happened. Because if it didn't, he would be here. And I knew she only had a short period to stay in Nigeria. She couldn't stay there either. They don't care if you married. They don't care. Okay, that's nice. I'm glad y'all got married. Go home. Go back to America. Y'all married? Okay, well, y'all stay together good 3-4 months. And then you take your behind on back to America. And he gonna stay here. Because I had another friend that married a Nigerian man. At least he was able to come to the country, though. But he wasn't able to stay. He couldn't stay long. You got to be on a student visa. You got to be on a work visa. You got to be on some kind of visa. But if your background ain't right, you're not coming. And she won't tell people what's going on. And girl, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, we are nosy. We definitely are nosy. Because y'all was in the biggest love in the world. Like, I ain't never seen love like y'all love in Africa. And Africa was the best thing since sliced bread for her. Oh, it's way better than America. The people in Africa have respect. Y'all heathens in America, y'all don't have no respect for nobody. You ain't doing nothing right. Your women, you're lazy. The African women is over there cooking and pleasing their mans, and all this. And you back. And I have absolutely no problem with Eat with Q. But you don't have to put down America to be happy in Africa. You're just happy. And just say that you're happy. But I wouldn't even be going through all that knowing that my time in Africa is limited and I'm going to have to come back to America. I got to come back because I can't stay there. Now, I done talked big money stuff about America. But now I'm sitting here. Yeah, she would have to give her citizenship up, and she's not crazy enough to do that. She's not going to do that. And he's not going to do that either. You can tell that he don't look like he wants America to be his home. He don't look like America. He don't have that look like, oh, you know how now there are some Africans that have that mentality. They want to go to America. I went to school in, what year did I graduate? 82. I went to college because, see, back then, it seemed like to me back then it was, in the 80s was like this big influx of Africans. It was a big influx from all kind of countries of people coming to America. Okay? So we had a lot of African students at the college that I went to. And some of them had not even been here that long because I befriended this young man and he said that he came out here with his dad was already here. His dad was working and he came out here with his sister and his mom, and his mother didn't even speak much English. Like her English was bad. And he was going to school out here. And he was like, it had been his, they had been drilling that in his head since he was a little kid to go to America. America is, the land of milk and honey. You got to go to America. We got to get out of we got to get you out of Nigeria to go to America so you can go to college. Like that, he said that had been drilled in his head since he was a child. America for a lot of African people is the promised land. But then they get over here and go to school and get these degrees and then talk shit about Americans and how jacked up America is. And that's the part that irritates me. And I'm not even patriotic. But if America bothers you so much, go home. And if it bothers you so much to be here, why was your educational system not enough? Why did you have to cross the continental waters just to get an education? If Africa is so great, you should have been able to be educated there. Everything you need should have been wrapped up in Africa. But it's not. There's a stark difference between America and Africa. And I know parts, they have parts, and I'm not even talking about tribal Africa. I'm not even talking about that because those people live like that on purpose. That, that's cultural for them. I'm not speaking on that. I'm speaking how the regular people live in parts of Africa that me, growing up in the great state of California, could not do. I couldn't do it. I could not. I'm not even gonna lie. I couldn't go nowhere where the electricity go off at a certain time. Like y'all only, and because I'm a late bird, I like to stay up late, and I'm sitting up, and all of a sudden, poof! You don't have a generator. You jacked up. You can't go outside because it's like super hot. The mosquitoes and Lord, I saw. I had let Gizmo out the other night to use the bathroom, and I swear I saw a mosquito this big. He was this. I don't know what it was. Okay, it had the body of a mosquito, but it was this big. Do you hear me? It was this big, like wingspan. I almost closed that door on my dog. I almost forgot I had a dog. I was almost like, Gizmo, fend for yourself. I cannot let this thing in the house. It'll kill us all. So I know I can't go to Africa. Because I know they have some animals that I've never seen. Some insects that I've never seen. Like, I watched this African couple. The young lady was a missionary, and she, while she was there with her family, she met this African guy. I think they're from Ghana. And child, they be like, going to different places in Ghana and stuff, and they went to this one Airbnb, and it had a sign outside the Airbnb to be careful at night because it was like real animals out there, like hyenas and giraffes and lions. Ain't no way in hell. Not me. Not me. Now I can practice. I can practice your religion and everything. I love the Orisha, but the motherland has never had that type of appeal for me. I now if you want to set foot on the motherland and go to Africa and experience what our ancestors experienced, then go for it. I would rather experience the New Orleans. I want to experience my New Orleans ancestors. Now I'll go back that far, but I'm not going to Africa. That's not that's not on my list of places that I want to visit. It's just too much going on. It would be overwhelming for me. So Eat McHugh is back, and she's not telling a lot of what's going on with her husband, and I don't blame her because I wouldn't either. Because she know we nosy. She know we nosy. But see, my thing was when she was in Africa. I'm married now. I'm married. I'm a married woman. I got a husband. Oh, I love my husband. My husband. Oh, my husband. I can just eat him up. I can just eat him up. She was doing all that in Africa. Some in the back of my mind was saying, how long? Because I've seen people marry African men. I didn't seen this happen. I've seen it. And I know that if this man, if there's anything on his record, he ain't coming to America. You're not coming here. America don't play that. Even though, the Mexicans be slipping in, but see, they be slipping in, they be coming across the border. They be sliding in. Every now and then, the Haitians may slide in on a boat or something, but you're not doing that from Africa. This is a whole different ball game. You got to come correct. And there has to be a reason why her husband is not here. You're not going to tell me that he just didn't want to come. You're not going to tell me that because I'm not stupid. Now, you may have some subscribers who going to believe that. Hey, RJ, who going to, believe that. Oh, he can make it. Maybe he's just not ready to come to America. No, that's your wife. That's your wife. Y'all got married. Y'all, didn't they have 2 weddings? Like one at the church and one someplace else, a white wedding, and all. You went through all of that to leave your husband in Africa? No, I'm not buying that. There had to be a reason why he could not make the trip. So either he could not get his visa was denied. That visa was denied. And she decided to come on back home. Because she was probably on a 90-day, I don't know how, I think they extended for a little while after you get married. But it ain't much. So she had to come on back to Africa. I want to go to Africa one day. I've been studying Kemet, and they say women have to cover your head and wear a hijab. Hijab. Is it hijab or hijab? Hijab. I know what it is. I just don't know how to pronounce it. I have Creole relatives in New Orleans. Probably the majority of us have relatives in some part of Louisiana. I'm hooked into this channel called Chronicles of Zoe that talk about the history of Haiti and voodoo. I think you'll like it. No, ma'am. In your right mind, you would not want to. I'm not into a lot of people think that I don't know. Maybe I made y'all think that I was. I'm not into voodoo. And Haiti has a interesting history that I have studied some years ago. But I just recently joined and I don't know why I did it. I really did it to be nosy. I joined this voodoo. Is it voodoo? I don't know if it's voodoo or hoodoo. I don't know which one it is. But it's a group on Facebook. But yeah, I think, the whole voodoo thing is part of my past. Yeah, the history is just interesting. Like I don't think I would ever really practice um voodoo. I would love to go to and not love to. I'm going to New Orleans. We're going to New Orleans. Now that is one place we will visit. But I'm not going to Africa. I see no reason to. Like my only reason to go to Africa would have been for a ceremony or something. I'm not one of those, oh, I want to set foot on the motherland. It's weird to me. And I think one thing that has turned me against going to Africa is listening to how some Africans, and I'm not going to say all Africans because I ain't talked to all Africans, but listening to how some Africans talk about American people on social media has really turned me against Africans. Because I know as soon as I get there and say something, you're going to know I'm from America. And some of them hate us. Like they have some underlying hatred for Americans. I don't know what that is, and I don't want to deal with it. I really don't. That's why I've never trusted any African people to, be my madrina or padrino. I don't want an African babalao. I don't know. It's just they don't trust us or they don't like us, and I have underlying distrust for them. I don't, and then I don't know. I'm not even gonna get into all the scamming and stuff. Yeah, I don't know what that type of. I don't know where that hatred stems from. I don't know what it is, and don't want to know. My grandmother was into Santeria and she spoke Yoruba. The Haitians won wars using magic and weapons all together. Yeah, I mean the Haitians are a strong people, but I don't know. I don't. I don't think I would want to. I don't think I would want to deal with the Haitians either. I don't want to deal with anybody. The only people I want to deal with that practice, that I really feel like I can trust is Americans. I've always said I didn't want to deal with someone who practiced the religion that spoke a different language from me. I never wanted to be in a position where there was a language barrier. And that would be one thing that I would be concerned about going to another country. I know a lot of people in Africa speak English. Eat with Q's husband speaks English. Of course, his English is not like ours, but he does speak English. So there is no language barrier between the two of them. But when he's talking to, like, I used to date a guy that was from St. Lucia. He was from the Caribbean. And when he would get around his cousins and stuff, he would speak patois, whatever it is that they speak. And I would always feel left out because I didn't have a clue what they were saying. And it made me feel somewhat uncomfortable to be around a group of people. I'm the only American, and they're all talking, and I don't understand what they're saying. That always made me feel uncomfortable. And I don't want to, I don't want to be in a position like that. I don't want to be in a country and there is a language barrier. In Cape Town, in Africa, have a ceremony called the Door of No Return on the coastal line where African ancestors were sold. There's a writing on the wall says Door of No Return. Yeah, I saw a documentary about that. The Haitian Constitution literary grants citizenship to any oppressed black person around the world. But would you want citizenship in Haiti though? Because it is one of the, now you think it's bad here in America. Haiti is one of the poorest countries it is, unfortunately. And when they have earthquakes in Haiti, they have real earthquakes, like really severe earthquakes that, you know, do a lot of major damage. Well, for one thing, their structures, they don't have the same like building codes and stuff that we have here. Their structures are not made like ours. So when they have earthquakes, it is a lot of devastation there. Like Haiti is definitely a place that I wouldn't live. I know that we have a lot of we have earthquakes here in California, but the majority of it, and this is one thing people don't even understand, that a lot of the earthquakes that we have here in California is so big, we don't even feel them. It may not be in Northern California, the earthquake may, and if it's an earthquake in Southern California, of course we ain't gonna feel it here. It depends on what fault line the earthquake is in. And then sometimes the earthquakes are very mild. Every earthquake that hits is not devastating. And I think people don't understand that. But it seems like the majority of earthquakes that hit Haiti are big quakes that do a lot of damage. They give you the option to light a candle for your ancestors and walk back through the door of no return. Yeah, I don't think that's something that I would want to do. Well, at the time of the American Revolution, they grant citizenship to black slaves in the U.S. Yeah, Haiti used to be rich, but it's not now. But yeah, that's because of everything that their country went through. A lot of things were taken from the Haitian people. It used to be a rich country, but it's not now. And it just seems like every earthquake that they have sets them back even farther. So that's Haiti is not on my list to visit. And some people have a desire to stand at the door of no return, or stand on the shores where our ancestors were stolen, to feel that energy. That's not my desire. I think my spirit is too sensitive to even experience something like that. I'm going to tell you something that happened to me some years ago. We went, I was with this guy and he needed something for his car. And we went to Pick and Pull, which out here is, a place where you can go and you go find a part for your car, and you could pull it off another car in this lot. And these are cars that have been in accidents, cars that have been towed. You never know the circumstance around the car. That So you're looking for your car. Like if you have a Buick, you're looking for a Buick. He was looking for some windows for an older car. And we were walking around, and it just got dark because we were walking around. These cars, the airbags were deployed. You can tell that's, all of the cars were totaled out. They had been wrecked. Some of them, were totaled. The frame was probably bent, or the insurance had totaled the car out or whatever. But some of them were bad. Like there was still blood on the airbags, blood in the seats and stuff, and you can tell like somebody died in this car. And I could just feel all of that energy. It was just so dark and heavy, and like people had been hurt, and were crying and moaning. I had to get up out of there. I was like, oh, I got to leave. It is, it's something. It was so much going on. Like I was almost getting dizzy. It was like I could hear the people screaming. Their spirits, some of them, their spirits were still so unsettled, like they didn't know what had happened to them. They were still in those cars, screaming. I never, ever went to another pick and pull or car place like that again, because I was just too sensitive. It was just too much. So I know that there is no way that I could go to Africa and, go to a place where our ancestors were chained, and, they didn't know what was going on. They couldn't communicate with each other. No, I don't want to hear I don't want to hear that screaming and, feel that. I don't. I'm not putting myself through that. Definitely not. Especially not there. I don't want to put myself through something that I don't have to. Like you don't have to do that unless you really want to. And that's just not my desire. Like of course it's my desire to understand our history. But I don't always have to stand where people stood. Because at one time I wanted to go to is it Lorraine Hotel where Martin Luther King was assassinated? Like I wanted to see that. But then I was like, if I go there, is something going to happen? Like, am I going to like feel a whole lot of heavy energy? I don't want to do that. I don't think those are places that I'm supposed to go to. Some people can go places like that and their energy or their inner spirit is not disturbed. But I know mine will be. It'll be unsettled and disturbed. So I don't normally. Somebody's alarm is going off. That sound like the neighbor. Sound like his alarm to his house is going off. Um, I don't put myself in that position. RJ said he's sensitive too, and Naya says I'm sensitive too. I felt like driving through certain states like Mississippi and Texas, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna pick up something in Africa. Yeah, I'm not trying to do that. That's not my thing. I don't, like I don't want to feel that. I don't want to feel it. It's not, it's just not something that I want to go through. You know, I love my ancestors and I understand, you know, I understand a lot of what they've been through. And it's enough, what they dealt with in the 40s and 50s and stuff. That's enough. I don't want to go back no farther than that. Because they went through enough here. So I definitely don't want to go back to, what our ancestors went through before they even got here. It's a lot. It's definitely a lot. Just even in the travel here is a lot. But I really hope that Eat with Q, I hope that her husband can come. I hope he can, eventually come, because who wants to have a marriage with one person in the States and the other person in Africa? That puts a strain on your marriage. I cannot even imagine me and my husband living in two different houses, let alone living in two different countries. Now, I'm not saying it can't be done, because I know that probably a lot of people, deal with that. You make do, but that would be hard for me. Well, I mean, some people, it's not that you're moving backwards. It's that you just want to see. You want to see where certain things happen. A lot of people say our origins begin in Africa, so you want to go back there and see. For me, I don't. I don't want to I don't want to go back that far. Naya said, I thought it might help with healing, like knowledge of self. Yeah, I mean, for you, everybody's healing is different. Maybe that will help your healing. It won't help mine, because that's not my desire to, that's not my walk. That's not my journey. My journey, I don't have a desire to see Africa. Some people do. Some people have a desire, some people go and get their ancestry done, and then they have a desire to go there, or a desire to meet all of the people that, are in their ancestry or whatever. That's not my desire. It's not. Even if, I mean, my grandson has already had his DNA. What is it? Is an ancestry? One of those things. His mom had his done. So we already know that his came back. Now, this is the thing. So this has to be from our side of the family, Nigeria, because his other side of his mama is white. His mother is Caucasian. And Caucasian, not like she, her mother is white, like she has one white parent and one black parent. No, she has two white parents. So she white. And she had a child with my son who was black. So she did his ancestry and it came back Nigerian. So then I'm assuming, since he is my child, that would put me there. But of course, you have to take into consideration his dad's, my ex husband's ancestry also. So I haven't had mine done yet. I keep saying I'm gonna have it done. I haven't had mine done yet. And the only reason why I even wanted to have mine done, because I really don't, it will just be, knowledge. Because I'm not going there. But the only reason why I would like to get it done to see, did my ancestors practice what I'm practicing? Is it true? Is the reason why I'm interested in this religion is because this is what your ancestors did? These really were your people. That's the only reason why I wanted to know. Your grandmother was a Black Panther? My mother used to go to the Black Panther meetings. She was not a Black Panther, but the Black Panther, we had a very large Black Panther party in West Oakland when I was a little child. I was one of them little kids. As a matter of As a matter of fact, I saw this documentary that was done about the Black Panthers in West Oakland, about their, programs that they had and stuff. And they had these little, like, after school daycare little things. And this documentary was set in like the 60s. I must have been scouring that documentary looking for me. Because my mama said that she used to take me to the little, the little stuff that the Black Panthers had, because they had a lot of stuff for kids, because it wasn't that far from where we lived, because I grew up in West Oakland, but I didn't see myself in the documentary. But yeah, the Black Panthers were really big back in the 60s. As a matter of fact, Huey Newton brother was one of my instructors in college. And at the college that I went to, which was Merritt College, they have an entire room dedicated to Huey Newton. It's a lot of posters about him, because Huey Newton was really smart. He had a PhD in like psychology or something. It seems like everybody in his family was really smart. All of his brothers and sisters were really smart, because I think his brother, who was my in instructor in college, I don't think he had a PhD. He may have had a PhD too. I'm not really sure. I know he was really smart though. He what class was this? Sociology, I think. I think it was. I know he was really smart. What happened to Huey was very, very unfortunate. Um, but yeah, in I grew up when the Black Panthers were very, very um big and really out there in West Oakland. Oh yeah, he did. I don't think she did 23andMe. She did one of those DNA tests, and so his came back English, which is of course from his mother's side of the family, and African, which I'm assuming Nigerian, and a few other things, which is of course from his dad's side of the family. Goldie. Yeah, the Black Panthers were big in the 60s. I was like, why I couldn't have been like, well, shit, my mother would have been like, you're not about to join no Black Panthers. And she wasn't into that. I was a church kid. So, but they were big. They were big. I wish I had taken some pictures, but it wasn't no like social media and stuff when I was in college. Did I have a? It wasn't even like the pictures with the phone I had back then would have been. They would have been all blurry and ugly. And I said I was gonna go back to Merritt College and finish up my degree, but I don't know. I should go on the website and see how much do I have to finish so I can get my degree. I ain't doing nothing else, but that school is a long way away from where we live now. Yeah, I mean it's really nice. I mean the room is really nice. It has like a plaque and everything like dedicated to Huey. I think that chair, that wicker chair is supposed to be like a picture of Huey in that wicker chair. That chair is there. This one. That picture is there and the chair is there. It's like roped off. They have a lot of pictures of him. They have like a plaque. I guess they had like a big ceremony dedicating that room to him. And it's like uh where you can just kind of go and study and chill and hang out and stuff. It's one of those kind of rooms. It's a big room though. It's a nice room. A lot of pictures of Huey and his good accomplishments, because a lot of people like to just talk about the end of Huey Newton, but they don't talk about all of the stuff that he did before he got to that bad part. So it's all of that there, which is really nice. I know his brother had a hand in doing all of that. And when I saw that and, found out, because at first I didn't put it together, like they had the same last name. And, I didn't put it together, like they don't look alike to me anyway. And somebody was like, that's Huey Newton's brother. And I was like, the teacher? And everybody was like, yeah. And I was like, no, that's not. And people were like, yeah, it is. That's his brother. And so somebody, I guess in the class, I don't know how it came up, but somebody asked, are you Huey Newton's brother? And he was like, yeah, that was my brother. And, he kind of talked about it for a minute and, we kind of moved on. But yeah, Huey Newton's brother was my sociology professor. Hey, Demona. Okay, KK. See you later, sweetie. So I'm finna go, y'all. We've been on here an hour. Um, y'all say a prayer for Adrian. I really wish her nothing but the best. But Adrian is gonna have to get off of that um fried food and sodas and all of that stuff, just like myself. I can't tell somebody else what they need to do if I'm not doing it. And I am. I have like really, I'm on the road to changing things, exercising. I would have exercised today, but it's cold out there. It's all windy and stuff today. It's not nice like it was yesterday. But yeah, my goal is to really buckle down on my diet and try to get some of these things right because um I don't want to be 60 years old with type 2 diabetes. I don't want that to be in my future. So, um I'm going to do what I have to do to make sure that don't happen. Yeah, I'm not really sure where my ancestors. I mean, I think, because my grandson, it did come up Nigeria on his. As a matter of fact, I had screenshot it. I'm going to have her send it back to me again so I can see. But it did say Nigeria and something else. Cameroon. He got Cameroon. And as a matter of fact, me and a friend of mine used to go to this African restaurant, and it was owned by a African family. It was authentic African food. And one day the owner came out, and me and my friend was eating, and he was like, "Are you from?" He looked at me and he was like, "Are you from the Cameroon?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "Why?" And he was like, "Because you look like the women there. The women there have round faces, like this area they have a lighter. They're lighter complected. They're heavy set. He kept saying round, and I was like, "Hold on, bruh." He was like, "No, but these women are beautiful. They love the fact that the women are round." Like he kept using the word round. Oh, I'm like, round is not. That's not a cute word here in America. We don't refer to women as round in a cute way. But he was like, "No, the Cameroonian women are, they're very beautiful. The men love the fact that they're round and all this kind of stuff." But he thought I was, of course, until I opened my mouth, and I was like, "No, I was born here in America." And he was like, "Oh, I bet you some of your ancestors were," and that was in my son's um DNA thing. It's 90 degrees in Arizona. Girl, you can keep that. You can keep that. I don't be for, let me see. What is it here? You can have all that. It's 60 degrees here and it's windy. You can keep that 90. It was 60 yesterday, but it was 60 with no wind. So it was nice. But it's 60 today and it's windy. I went in the backyard and I was like, "Oh shit, I'll take my butt back in the house." And look like it's gonna be in the high 60s until Wednesday of next week. Look like we're gonna get some rain Wednesday and Thursday of next week. So we better enjoy this. But we're not We're not going past the 60s. It said it was 67 earlier today. It may have been because it was decent. It was just windy and ugly. It's gonna start heating up though. But it 90 and 100 degrees. We don't get that here in the Bay Area, the part of the Bay Area that I'm in. That's Southern California weather. That's not Northern California. Like we get in the 80s and stuff, but we're so close to the water that it kind of keeps the temperatures lower. You guys in Arizona, y'all out in the desert. Of course, it's gonna get hot there. We right on the water. We right on the bay, so we constantly have that bay breeze coming in. We sitting on more water than some areas of Los Angeles. It just depends on where you live. Some parts of LA get real hot. The farther away from water you get, the hotter it gets in California. We right on the water. So, we get a decent um breeze here. So we probably ain't gonna get 90 until August, September. We get those Indian summers. So July, August, we may get some 90s. That's about it. And we don't get a lot. We don't even get enough to complain about. We may get 2 or 3 days. We got 100 a couple of days last summer. 100. I think we set a record last year. I think he got up to like 110, which is very rare for the Bay Area. So hopefully we don't do that no more. But I was in the house though with the and it stays pretty cool in here, so I wasn't tripping. So that's it, y'all. Say a prayer for Adrian. That's our girl. Even though Adrian be out here acting crazy. Say a prayer for Adrian and Miss Eat with Q. Hopefully she gets back with her husband. Cause I'm rooting for everybody that's married. I am. I love to see people get married. I love to see them, stay together. I don't wish separations in any marriage and stuff. And it's sad that, the way the world is made, that people can actually get married and marry somebody and they can't live where they want to live. You know, they can't be together because of where they were born. This world is just crazy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you do, cause I know it get hot out there. I can deal with no Arizona. I can deal with that. I've never been around that kind of heat. I've been in California all my life. Arizona and Vegas. And we're supposed to be going to Vegas this year. Every year we be like, "Oh, we going to Vegas for my birthday." Then we can't find no place to put Gizmo. So I don't know. We gonna find some place to put him this year because I do want to go to Vegas before I get so old I can't walk around and have a good time. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for being here. Thank you for participating. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.